Hello, this is Heather Hoffman, and today I have a fun faux painting technique using the beautiful Elegant Florals Reverse Confetti stamp set and my Zig Markers paired up with my Misty just to get this kind of hand-painted effect. I don't know about you, but someday maybe I'll learn, but I haven't been successful in painting yet, so I love that I can get this effect with a stamp and some markers. Now, first of all, I have my card panel from Premier Polar White cardstock, and I've die cut one of the all framed up confetti cuts. I love these because you get a whole bunch of frames and you can just pick which size you need and save all the others for other projects. But I've die cut it from Midnight cardstock, and I kind of wanted to use that to plan where to place this floral image on my card. I wanted to add the frame around it just to add to kind of the artistic effect of like you'd frame a painting. So I did that to plan in my Misty where to line it up, and I've picked two colors of kind of red and pink Zig Markers, and then two shades of a green that I can use together. And I don't need to use any water with this, but these are water-based inks, and I just, with it lined up in the Misty like this, I pretty much color on with one color and try my best to hit the spots. If I miss it, it's no big deal because I can come in more. But I got it all on the first try, and then I'm going to come in with the darker shade and just kind of add some shadow effects in some different areas. And as you stamp it, you can keep building, you can add more color. You could do this with more than the two colors, but I really like the effect with just the two colors. And then on this, when I did the leaves, I didn't want to do all of them and have it dry out too much as I colored all of them, so I just did part of the greenery, and every time I just make sure my image is centered, or my card with the magnets, just because it wants to stick a little bit to the stamp, and so it moves, and I don't want to end up with my image getting off center and not lined up perfectly. So now I've got all the leaves on there. Isn't that pretty already? You can already see how much depth and pretty there is. But now I'm going to come in with the darker one, and again just add a little bit of shadow and shading and some depth in some different spots. So I'm not fully covering the image, I'm just adding little bits, and you can start with a little and build up to more until you're happy. And I decided to come in with one more little bit of color just to blend between the two colors for the flowers as well. There you go. Isn't that a stunning effect how that works? I just love the way it looks. And I noticed these do stain my stamps a little bit, but they don't affect the way that they work down the road. I just love that. It looks like it was hand painted by someone far more talented than me. All right, now that I have that done, I'm going to stamp a sentiment on there. I'm using the stamp set The Most Beauty, and again, I'm using that frame to line up where I want to stamp that sentiment, so it fits in my framed up area in the center of my card, just right where I want it. So I picked my sentiment, I lined it up there. I'll use my Misty lid to pick that up and pull out my Midnight dye ink and use that really quickly to stamp that sentiment. Get it on there nice and clear. And at this point, you could even leave it just like this, even if you didn't want to add the frame, but I thought the frame just added just kind of a neat finish to the front of the card as well. So I'm going to pop that frame up on some foam adhesive, also just to add a little more interest and depth to the card. It's such a fine, thin frame that I'm pulling out my foam adhesive tape, and I'm going to trim it into thinner strips to fit around the outside. And an easy way to do that is just pull off a length of it, and then use your scissors just to quickly cut up into thin strips. And I sped that up a little so you didn't have to watch as I trimmed each one, but it gave you the idea as I went through there. And then quickly attach all that in the back. You probably don't have to hit every corner. I'm really big on having my cards nice and solid so that I can pop them in the mail or give them to people, and I know that they're going to hold together and not bend up, so I like to do a full solid bit of the foam adhesive around the edges, but you could pretty easily just hit a few spots if you're hand delivering or anything like that as well. And there, that's popped on, and you have a card that has the effect of a work of art with not that much work or effort. Lots of fun, and so much fun to play with your stamps different ways like this. Thanks so much for coming by. Have a wonderful day.